Hello and welcome to a new video. Today is one of those vlogs where I review the videos that the members of my online communities are sending me to actually check them out and give possibly some positive feedback in terms of video editing and video making in general. And if it's the first time for you to actually watch one of these videos, just feel free to go down in the comments tab and drop one of your links too. So in the future I can just go have a look at your video and give you some feedback too. We got 5 members today from my travel vlogs community, and you can check this group in the description tab and you can join us there too. If anyone else wants to follow along in this vlog and check the videos that the members send me, go and you will find the videos down here in the description tab. So literally you can just follow step by step. So let's get started. Let's jump into Premiere Pro, where I'm going to review step by step these videos. So we're gonna start by Sapan Shah. So forgive if I pronounce your name not in the right way. I'm not sure where you guys are from, so once again, apologies. And I've got your video here called The Rude Awakening to Our Oasis Daydream, Huacachina, Peru. So let's get started. I'm just gonna give a few comments each video because otherwise we're gonna take forever. So the first one for you is at 32 seconds. I'm going straight to the point right here. And I also put the videos inside Premiere Pro so I can actually see the resolution you use, the frame rate, the audio levels, and I can give you some feedback on technical things as well. So here at 32.
To the communal where all the buses and everyone is gathering for Huacachina.
This is actually a storytelling feedback. You are telling me that everyone is gathering to go to Huacachina without giving any extra information about what Huacachina is. So I had to go on Google and search for that name, for this specific word, and then I found out it was a place in Peru. And again, that's a storytelling feedback. So here, always think that you're talking to people that don't know anything of what you're talking about. So you need to give some extra information to make it clearer. That's my first comment for you. Then we're gonna go to 2:13 here on the timeline, and this time it's an audio feedback, so it's a technical feedback. And if you have an audio mixer inside your video editing software like mine, like here, audio track mixer, I always recommend to open it up and have a look at the levels of the audio. So let's play your clip here from 2:10 more or less. Now as I play your video, have a look here at the very top of my audio meter. You will see a red line, which means your audio is being clipped because the level of the audio is too high. So I'm gonna play a few seconds. Okay, if I turn my volume down of my computer, you will see your meter is always in red, which means you're cutting some frequencies of the audio. So my suggestion is when you're mixing, when you're editing your video, always make sure your audio stays in the orange line, more or less, right around here, between the green and the yellow. That's where you want your audio to be. And as I showed to other people before, if you're using a professional video editing software, you can add a limiter, a hard limiter, which is an effect that basically tells to Premiere, whenever my audio reaches this point, don't allow it to go over, to go above this level. And in my case, I can go here in the audio mixer and just go to amplitude and compression and choose hard limiter. Then I double click inside the hard limiter, and in the maximum amplitude, so that's the maximum level I want to reach, I type -2, which is the maximum decibel suggested by YouTube to upload your videos. And then I'm gonna close my tab, and if I play my audio now, the audio will never go above -2 decibels. So that's a trick, but in any case, I always recommend to do it manually. So go on your timeline and just add some key points here on the timeline and just mix your audio beforehand. So whenever your music is going too loud, just drop it down until you stay around -2 decibel. All right, let's carry on. And We got to 2:57, so very simple in Premiere. I just type literally the time code here. And what you're gonna say is
Italian restaurant.
you're going to an Italian restaurant, so that's great, best food in the world. Jokes apart, you're telling me you're going to a restaurant, but then you're not showing me anything about the restaurant, so you don't give me information again. And in this case, I recommend, if you're using this video as a personal travel, like a holiday video for you to remember your holidays, that can work. But if you're using your video as an informative vlog, this part is useless to me because you're not telling me anything about the place. So literally you're telling me you're going to the restaurant, and then
Menu is already
there is one single clip, a very wide angle of the restaurant, so I'm not seeing where the restaurant is. I don't know how the food is. I don't know how pricey the restaurant is. So again, not enough information, and I would avoid to use this specific section basically. Then we're gonna go to 5:37, which is the last comment for you. 5:37. So this is quite funny. The alcohol seems very strong, but okay, the transition. I wanted to talk to you about the transitions. That's a very important part of video editing. Your transition here is quite sudden. First of all, you're going from an indoor place, so somewhere indoors, to an outdoors, and usually we want some transition. It can simply be a fade to black. So you want to add a black fade here. I'm just gonna do it actually. I'm gonna chop your video there, but there you go. You've got two fades now. Okay, so it gives me a reason why you are cutting from a clip to another. So there is a pause a little bit, but in this way, it's kind of a sudden, it doesn't work properly. So just work and think about your transitions a bit more. But thank you very much for sending your video, and guys, go and subscribe to Sapan Shah. Okay, here you go. I'm gonna give you a like too. Cool, let's go back to Premiere Pro, and we have the second person. Now we're gonna review the video by Worldwide Walkers, and I show you the YouTube channel first, so go and don't forget to subscribe to them too. Give them a like, be part of the community, and be a positive member of the community. So let's go back to Premiere and check this video out. The video is called "There Are Seals in Wellington." Well, we'll find out now. Okay, first feedback, guys. I watched the intro. I'm gonna play a few seconds quickly, and it was really nice. The first few seconds, I thought, I'm not sure if you are professional video makers, but I thought, wow, this is really nice, very interesting. And then I think the vlog kind of lost that quality by going forward. So take the extra efforts you have taken by creating the intro throughout the whole video, and you will go next level. But yeah, it's really nice. Really, I'm really enjoying watching it. So that's really good. I'm gonna go to 1:05 here on my timeline, and we're gonna talk about transitions again. Okay, here at 1 minute.
All right.
Okay, I thought that was quite sudden too. It was a sudden transition, and it kind of got me lost for somehow. So once again, I suggest to think about the transitions a bit more and make them really smooth and flowy. We're gonna go to 1:50, and once again, I'm going here. I probably said this a million times. When you fast forward your footage, it never looks good unless it's a time lapse of an amazing landscape. If you want to show I understand you want to show the journey from a place to another, but that's not the right way to do so. If you watch a film, you will never see this effect. You will never see fast forwarded footage because it doesn't work. It's kind of boring and it's not engaging. So if you want to show me the landscape through your journey, I would recommend to stop your car, literally film 10 seconds of footage, then stop ahead and do the same thing and show me the actual landscape. Because if you fast forward, first of all, I'm not seeing anything, and once again, it doesn't look great. Then we're gonna go to 418.
Still no.
Okay, and here, I'm not sure if you're using auto setting for your camera. And first of all, the camera is really good. I've seen you have a Sony A6300, I think. So image quality is great, but I recommend also always to use the manual settings because you can nail your focus all the time. So in this way, the lady here is out of focus.
Oh no.
But if you had used the manual focus, you would have got the image right, basically. So yeah, here you go. Once again, if you want to step up with your video making, definitely manual settings. Thanks for sending your videos, and I'm gonna go to the next person, and we have Hemu Explorer. So Hemu sent this video called, let's check it out, Paris in 1 day, travel guide, tips, hotel, boat ride, a lot of things there, great. So a lot of information already in the title. And the first thing I want to suggest here, Hemu, is the aspect ratio of your clip. So I'm not sure what aspect ratio, what resolution you are using here. And I recommend to actually go and check my video right there, where I explain what aspect ratio is, what frame rates, and so on. So next time I recommend to use a 16:9 aspect ratio. This looks like a 4:3. So it seems like you filmed in 4:3 and then put your clip inside a 16:9 sequence. And I can definitely see you filmed in full HD. And also by the video information, I can see you filmed at 59.99 frames, which I think is useless because this is basically slow motion. So you're filming with a high frame rate and you're not actually showing me anything in slow motion in your video. So this is all extra data you are putting inside your phone, and it's just taking a lot of space in your storage, so in your hard drive. And I recommend to film like the other guys at 25, 30 frames per second, 24, not more than that, if you don't want to show any slow motion of any actions. And also a bit of promotion, if you guys want to know more about video editing and video making, so this is for all of you viewers of this video, you can go to my courses and check them out because I give a lot of tips, a lot of information there, and I think you can learn a lot of things if you're new to video making. So go and check them out, my website right here or in the description tab. I'm launching also very soon a new video editing courses through which you can create a graphic package for your YouTube videos or professional videos, so stay tuned there. And Hemu, let's go to the next comment, which is also about the framing. So the framing of your image. I noticed that you always leave a lot of space, a lot of air. It's called air between your head and the top of the frame. So once again, if you see me now, there's a tiny bit of air from the top of the frame to my head. And that's what you want to do more or less in your videos. But in your vlog, there's always a lot of space here. And it's a kind of a weird looking image. So if you scroll through, as you can see, yeah, the camera is always pointing too high. And what I recommend is to literally take your camera, tilt it down a little bit. So your frame will have less space between your head and the top of the frame. So that's the second comment for you. And then, so let's go to 0:14. So 14 seconds on your timeline. I go to 13. There you go. And what I noticed here, there's an extra frame between two clips. So actually two. So from 15 here, you are on the boat. Then there's literally 4 frames of this map, and then there's a black frame also. And then you go to the Louvre museum here. So always make sure during the video editing process to take extra care of your frames, and you want to start learning and really view and see any mistake you are making or you are forgetting by mistake actually on the timeline. So always rewatch your video a few times before you export it. And it's barely visible, but I have a lot of experience in video making and cutting trailers, so I can really spot these things straight away. And once again, it's just a habit, so it's just experience, and just keep watching your videos, you will notice it as well very soon. So that's my other feedback. And then we go to 3:10 on the timeline, 0, 3:10. And this is the clip where you show the Arc of Triumph, and I think it's a long clip. So I always suggest to avoid walking and showing me the environment. What I suggest instead is to, once again, take different angles of the same subject. So you could have taken the arc from far away, then you come closer, then you take one from the bottom, showing me the top of the arc. You know, different things in a sequence, basically, instead of just walking around and showing me the same subject. It's just more engaging. And once again, if you watch films or videos, they are made of different images. They're not made of one image just continuously. I mean, some films are, but they're really, really, really well made. Once again, yeah, it's just a different way to be more engaging. But thank you very much for sending your video, and guys, go to Hemu channel, Hemu Explorer, hit subscribe and like. And we go to the next person. We have Nazil Vlog. Thank you, Nazil, straight away. And let's subscribe to Nazil. Give it a like to this video called Istanbul Vlog. So Nazil, let's step into Premiere Pro. Here you go, and that's your vlog. It's called Istanbul Vlog. The Blue Mosque and the Bosphorus and so on. Really nice place. I've been last year, by the way. And Nazil, we start from the frame rate as well for you. So you filmed at 50 frames per second. As I mentioned to Hemu, that's a useless frame rate if you don't want to show me any slow motion. So bear in mind and remember, you can film at 25 or 30 FPS. We're gonna go at the beginning of the vlog. And here what I found out, as I mentioned to Hemu as well, you've got too much air space between your head and the frame, the top frame. So I would focus more on your image rather than the door and the background here, because you are the main subject. So yeah, the intro, definitely I would have refilmed or reframed your image. So you could have chopped your clip here and just change the scale of your clip. Let me get this. So I tried to correct it for you. You could have scaled it up. It's not the best way, but it's an option. And reposition it as well, like kind of this way. Right, it's not the best because again, your chin is right against the bottom part of the frame. So it's something you want to think while you're filming it. And also at 2:16, if you go at 2:16, here, that's the same thing. I would have reframed this image a bit better. So tilting the camera slightly towards down instead of going up and showing me a lot of this airspace, which it's not needed. Okay, let's go to 0028, so around here, and let's check it out.
On the screen
So here there is a transition, which is a fade, and it's a cross dissolve, and I never use this cross dissolve. That's a personal preference anyway, but what I want to say is that in this clip you're still talking and then you are transitioning here. So as I can actually hear you still talking, and then you start talking into a different clip. So it's very confusing, and would have worked a bit better in the audio. So make sure you chop your audio and you end your previous clip before you start with a different one. And that's the second comment. Then we're gonna go to 108. Around here, this is about exposure. So once again, to use manual settings. I also see your autofocus here. So if you have a flip screen, use a flip screen just to set the exposure right and the focus right. And then, yeah, don't look at your monitor while you're talking to the viewer anyway, but it's always helpful to see if you're on focus. And some of the image is overexposed. As you can see, it's just burned out. So you want to put the exposure down, maybe 1 or 2 stops here. Very helpful are the ND filters. If you don't know what ND filters are, go and check them right here where I explain what ND filters are with a drone. But I'm talking about drones here, but ND filters work the same way for all the different devices. Okay, let's go to 424 now. For you, I want to talk about the music, and once again, check your audio clips here. So once again, you as the very first member that sent the video, Sapan, the audio is clipping. So this is an audio mix problem. Usually the music comes a bit louder than the talking voice. So what you want to do is literally to mix it during the video editing process, and always make sure your overall level, audio level, is more or less around -2 decibels. So you want to pull your rubber band of the audio down, and you can do so in the timeline very simply. Also, if you go in your video editing software, you can just see that the waves, the audio waves, are too high. Let me show you here. You can literally see that some of the frequencies, some of the waves are chopped out. And waves are very important, guys, so don't forget, even here, all this audio is chopped, is cut out. So the frequencies are cut. And you can see when you're talking, these are your talking parts, are much quieter than the music. So you want to have the same audio level more or less throughout the video. All right, let's carry on, or we're not gonna end here. Yes, what I could recommend for you is a lapel mic, so a wireless lapel mic. I'm using one right here. This is actually wired, but you can find wireless ones. So you can move away 10, 50 meters away from the camera, from the recording device, and the audio will still be great in terms of voice. And once again, I reviewed one lately. You can find it here. It's a Saramonic Blink 500 Pro. Very great mic. Not very cheap, but it's great for traveling and for vlogging. And thank you very much once again for sending your video. And now we go to the last member, Anushka Lamyea Vlogs. So once again, apologies for the pronunciations of your names. And guys, go and check Anushka out on Anushka on YouTube. Go subscribe and hit the like button. And the first comment here I have, actually just by watching the title on YouTube, is about the title. So I think it's quite confusing. There's a lot of stuff here, a lot of emojis, a lot of tags. I would avoid all this stuff in the title. I would have kept it very simple, like Halloween 2020 or how we spent our Halloween 2020, without any hashtags. If you want to put hashtags, I recommend to put them in your description with anything else you want to add. But yeah, keep the title very simple, very clear, because that's one of the first things that attracts a viewer to watch your video. If it's confusing, if I'm not understanding what you're showing me straight away, I'm not watching your video. And also, yeah, sorry, one more thing, you have a couple of repetitions, like Halloween, Halloween. I understand it's about Halloween, so you only needed to put it once, and YouTube will use that word anyway in the right way. Okay, let's go to Premiere Pro. And yes, so the first thing for you is about aspect ratio and resolution once again. So your video is 1620 by 1080 pixels, which is a weird aspect ratio. So I'm not sure if your device, your phone, whatever you're using, is actually recording in 1620 by 1080p, or if you changed your sequence settings inside your video editing software. So what I recommend is to use always an aspect ratio which is 16 by 9, and this is not 16:9, it's probably 4:3 or not even that. So if you want to know more about aspect ratios and resolutions, once again, check this video here. But you can change your sequence settings just by going literally in Premiere Pro. You go to sequence settings, and then here you change the resolution of the video. So you go 1920 by 1080. You press OK, and now you will see your frame changing. But the problem here is that you have some black bars at the side of your image, and what you want to do in this case to fill up those bars is to go to your effect controls and scale your video up to fill those gaps. There you go. And then of course you can reposition your frame as better suits you. But I think nowadays, guys, we want to use the 16:9 aspect ratio. So it's the most common aspect ratio used all around the world. So I would avoid any 4:3 or 9:16 also. And that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. So if you scroll down your vlogs, you have used these clips probably filmed with your phone in vertical mode, so in portrait mode. And I always recommend not to use that format unless you use your clips for Instagram stories or Facebook stories. Otherwise, guys, always film with your portrait mode. So not vertical, always film in horizontal way. I mean, films and televisions nowadays are still using the 16:9, so the landscape aspect ratio and format. So I never recommend to film in vertical mode. Yes, so the very beginning here. From the title, I kind of understood you are talking about Halloween, but then I expect you to show me some Halloween things straight away from the beginning of the video, because that's what's going to engage me to watch your video. But instead, you're showing me these clips of you walking in the house, which are not very interesting, to be honest. And once again, I understand you want to show me the journey to go somewhere, but yeah, it's not engaging enough. So instead here, I would have used the clips you used at 350. So when you're actually showing me the Halloween things, this is the fun part of the video, and it comes only at 336 in your video, which probably I'm already bored to watch, and I would have skipped this part, unfortunately. So I wouldn't have reached this part of the video. Bear in mind the average interest of a viewer on videos, it's around 2 minutes. So every person will not watch more than 2 or 3 minutes of your videos. And in this case, I would have missed the main part of your video because it comes too late. So you want to put the best stuff usually at the beginning and some of it at the end as well. Okay, that's something very important in video making in general. Just professionals, that's what they do. They put the good stuff right at the beginning. And of course, if you can, keep the good quality throughout the video. Now, the audio, once again, it's clipped overall the video. So the audio as well for you is a bit too loud. So if you look at my audio meter, it's always hitting the zero decibel, and you want to be below that. So just to make sure you don't clip your audio and you don't clip it. As you can see, it's becoming red, so it's clipping. So always make sure you don't talk too close to the microphone, and make sure you mix your audio in post-production. Then what I've noticed is still about the audio, but in this case it's about the music. You use the same music track for the whole video. So 6 minutes of the same track, very boring. It becomes very boring very easily. And once again, watch films, just watch what the big directors are doing. You can hear a track for 1 minute, if that. So when you've got a lot of action, there's a minute of track. But otherwise, you want to change your track, not continuously, because you need to create some pauses in the video editing too, but you want to give a variety of tracks. Otherwise, the viewer becomes bored. Very simple as that. But I thank you for sending your videos, and to everyone else who is watching these videos, once again, go in the comment tabs, leave and drop your links. I'll be happy to go and review them when I have a bit of time and give you some comments, possibly that will help you out in your video making and video editing. Now consider to subscribe, hit the like button, and once again go and check my courses. There's a lot of stuff there, guys. I have 15 years and more of experience in video making, television, and so on. So I hope I can share my knowledge with you, and I hope to see you in the next video. God bless you. See you soon.
Seems all good times come and go, yo.